Huge apologies, folks. It looks like I've had a microphone issue. Thanks, RDO, for pointing that one out. We are 5 laps into our sprint race. Iggy has led away from the start, ahead of BX Royal and Zimmy now, with a closer battle between Lars in 4th on the medium tyre here. BX Royal also on the medium, the first and third drivers on the soft tyre. Lars on in 4th position on the medium tyres here in the Porsche RSR, and then Van der Speck trying to hang on to the coattails of Lars T here, but the soft tyres running out very quickly. I don't know if he's going to have to pit here. It looks quite likely to have to pit, and RDO is saying that Lepper is the reigning Tier 3 champion, and that Slimmy won Tier 2 last season as well. So we've got a bit of an all-stars in the top tier now. Those guys really bringing themselves forward. There is Lepper and BR4. Lepper in these two in the Toyota. Gorgeous car with that swooping Castrol colour scheme. And then T-Pus in 8th, Spectre in 9th. We've seen a little bit of contact in the midfield at the moment, up to this point. And then we've got Ryan Dabb, Slimmy Camp, Simon K. Mackey's dropping down. He was right up in the hunt at the front of this sprint race, but was bullied off the circuit a couple of times. And that car looking a lot neater than it has any reason to be. Moosh has caught Mackey's now. Has Mackey's actually pitted? No one has yet pitted off the soft tyres. Looks like Iggy's going to try and bring these soft tyres to the end of the race. Looks like night falling as well in our race. So 10 laps of Lago Maggiore, followed by 1 shot qualifying before our feature race. I've yet to see exactly how many laps we're expecting in the feature. Normally it would be, I think, 24, am I right? With 21 if the race if the lap is particularly long. Talk about that later on. The calendar still to come. I'll perhaps go into that during the feature race when there's time. But Iggy 2.3 seconds to the good now, and having to just manage his deck. We'll watch that gap at the front here between Iggy and BX Royal. 2.4 seconds, 2.5 as they head up the hill. And RDO says it's probably going to be 22 laps. The feature is a very long lap around here, and that's great info. Thanks, RDO, as always. Got some chat going on in the driver chat room as well, just asking why one of the reserves hasn't got anywhere. I think we had a late announcement of an absence. Unfortunately, don't think it could have been avoided. Let's see if we can find some action on the circuit, because the top 4 are very much on their own. Van der Speck in 5th leads the Toyota pairing, and the lights are already on that Subaru BRZ as he skips across the gravel and loses time coming through the final corner. That invites Lepper to have a little look down the inside. Will he have a look down into turn 1? Not quite. Van der Speck sweeping around the outside there with the Turkey flag on the car. I think that might be, and the Syrian flag as well, in honour of the earthquake. So a bit of quality representation there from Van der Speck. Lepper is all over the back here of this Subaru, and I think we're about to get some action between these ones. P7, BR4. He's usually very late on the brakes, is BR4, and Lepper goes down the inside, almost allowed through there, down into turn 5. That almost looked like it was a release by the Subaru, and in fact, I think he's done the same there for the second Toyota. Doesn't want to get caught in a long, hard battle here, does Van der Speck. He's on the soft tyres, he's run them ragged, he's got no front grip whatsoever, so heading into the pits, I would imagine, pretty soon. And we've got RDO cheering on Simon K. Well, Simon is in 9th place, having got ahead now of Ryan Dav. Well, I don't quite know why Mackey's is so far down. We missed everything that happened to Mackey's, but we saw plenty of action with Mackey's on the coverage, and unfortunately my microphone wasn't functioning, but we're back, hopefully, and you can hear me clear as day now, so you'll be able to draw your own conclusions from a silent start to the race. You'll be able to have a look back at that one. Leopard BR4 already putting a good gap on Van der Speck, and Iggy is in the lead, but that gap has been halved. And look at the tyre wear he's got. He's got to run 3 more laps, and he's huge oversteer through turn 1. This is going to be very, very tricky for him to hang on to such an oversteery car. The Ford GT race car from 2018. It's a rear end heavy car, and it's going to be very difficult. The Nismo, as with most Japanese cars in the game, are a little bit overpowered, but absolutely you're spot on. RDO. Top 2 are very, very close indeed. Shadowing is BX Royal, and looks like he got the tyre choice correct and did a great qualifying on the medium tyres to qualify so high as he did, and he's hung on to around the outside of Iggy. I don't think Iggy's going to have much by way of ANSI. He just has 0 grip. Look at the red tyre markings at the bottom left of your screen, and BX Royal takes the lead of the race. Tremendous racing so far. That is a Subaru slowing down in the background with a penalty on the car. Iggy's not happy to let this one go, but surely under braking, BX Royal is going to have the pace around the outside. Fantastic racing as he kicks up the gravel into, not even into the face of Iggy, but it's by the time the gravel has gone up in the air, Iggy's already through. He's so close, and Zimmy actually gets that gravel in the face, and around the outside, brilliant stuff there from BX Royal. Iggy, though, settling for 2nd place at the moment. I don't think we'll see a pit stop. It is the final lap here for the leaders. That has come about very quickly. We had a reduced number of laps due to the elongated lap length. It looks like it's going to be BX Royal across the line. He has timed that move right to perfection and wins the sprint race, the first sprint race of our season. Iggy in 2nd, Zimmy gets 3rd place, and Lars brings the Porsche 911 RSR to cross the line. The 2 Toyotas with solid points, Leopard and BR4 in P5 and 6 respectively here in the sprint. Van der Speck settles for 7th place, nice and safe there, and it's a very crowded midfield. Ryan Dav in 8th, Simon K 9th, T-Pos in 10th with Slimicam, Moosh, Spectre across the line in 13th, and Mackey's going to finish this one in 14th position. There we go. RDO saying clip, clip, clip. So that's the end of the coverage of our sprint race. We will go qualifying shortly once the lobby has been rebuilt, but a cracking sprint race there. Apologies, you've only got the 2nd half with commentary, but BX Royal wins the first sprint race of the season from Mighty Iggy in 2nd, Zimmy in 3rd, and like I say, Lars, Leopard, BR4, Van der Speck and Ryan Dav, your top 8. Good performances all round there from the drivers, and we're just waiting now for the lobby to get itself rebuilt for everybody. I'll leave this live and give some glory to our driver. And then just to mention about the calendar, this is round 1 of 8 where we are at Lago Maggiore. Next up will be Blue Moon infield circuit, then Road Atlanta, and then how about this for round 4 on the 6th of March. Pop a note in your diary because we are going to the Green Hell, the Nordschleife, around 4. Then in round 5 it will be San Qua A, followed by Tokyo South CC, Deep Forest Reverse, finishing the season at Dragon Tail Seaside on the 3rd of April. So really looking forward to that. I don't know if I will get any standings quickly enough from the drivers, quite as quick as the fastest standings guy in the world, Mr. RDO. But of course they'll be the same as the finishing order. There is victory for BX Royal. Congratulations to him for that one. And we will be one shot qualifying very shortly for you for our feature race. And let me see, we've got, I don't think the lobby has quite been built for me just yet. And we'll see exactly how many laps will be ready for us. And hopefully I'll be able to get visibility on that. Event settings, here we go. Hasn't been built yet. So I can't give you that information right now. Tyre wear is at 4 times, fuel at 3 times, and RDO seeing if he can give me a help on the lap count, which would be awesome. He says an insane race at Tokyo last season. The track people voted to return over Spa and Le Mans. Wow, fantastic info. I mean, that's strong praise indeed. If we are missing one driver apparently. Few apologies, sporting apologies coming in as the race is being rebuilt. It's currently registering as a 15-minute race, so I'm sure we'll sort that out shortly. That was our sprint length, I guess. Getting ready then for our one-shot qualifying. The drivers will voluntarily drive off the circuit at the end of their first and only lap. They will then qualify on the. They will start on the tyres they qualify on, so that will be interesting. And we've got Riaba joining us, one of the reserves, who was desperate to race tonight and very, very keen to get in. So hopefully the lobby will be updated for us very soon. I hope that if you're watching with us, you're enjoying the coverage so far, but the main feature race, of course, still to come, and one-shot qualifying. I'll probably watch on board with the drivers in turn, but Iggy, of course, got pole position on the soft tyres beforehand. They do also have to use 2 compounds of tyre in the race. Usually the mediums are the most favoured tyre, so we'll see what the drivers decide to progress with, whether it will be a soft and medium, or a soft medium, possibly a medium and hard compound, depending on what they qualify on. Still waiting here on the updated race conditions for you. Simon K, allowing drivers to go to the bathroom. I thought that the proper racing driver way was to go in the seat, but I suppose when we're racing at home and the bathroom isn't too far away, it's probably advisable. Shouldn't really start talking about toilets, should I? That's me trying to fill a fairly empty few minutes here on the racetrack. Let me know your predictions for the race if you're wondering what to pop into the live chat. If you don't want to commit to a particular driver you're here supporting, but if you are watching live with us, let me know what your podium predictions are, and we'll see, can Iggy get himself that redemption for having led all but the last 2/3 of a lap here of Lago Maggiore in the sprint. I'm sure that'll be really rankling with him. And be good to go and check out on Iggy's YouTube channel, actually. He did a movie for his previous season's racing. A very, very slick and professional movie that he set up. Here we go. Now we're talking. So it is a 40-minute race that we will be racing for. So whatever laps that works its way out to, it will be 40 minutes. We'll be underway for our qualifying shortly. We're waiting then for for some commitments. We've got drivers only now deciding that they might need to use the bathroom, and they've been told not to. As RDO says, yeah, pee in your seat. That's what we want. Yeah, hopefully we'll be underway in qualifying for you very soon. And I'll be on track then. Remember, one-shot qualifying for the drivers. And I will perhaps ride on board with the drivers here. And we'll see who decides to head out first. Iggy's usually away like a scolded cat, isn't he, out of the pits for a nice clear run. Let's see if he gets himself away. We'll be watching very, very carefully here. So let me know if you're enjoying the race coverage so far. If If you are, you can follow me at WebORed5 on socials. You can follow, of course, Aero League Racing here on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button, and you can follow the GT7 output by following us on Twitter as well. I've got a shout out here to eSports Retweets, who managed to tweet this one for us, and we are underway here for this one. Not quite sure what right, okay, I think RDO is perhaps doing some standings for me. He's just tagged me in a post. I'm just trying to and find it now. There we go. So, no surprises to learn that the top of the order was our race winner, who gets 16 points, BX Royal from Iggy. But in the teams championship, let me just zoom in on that one and try and work it out. The teams championship should be, I believe, Ford. Oh boy, that's difficult to read. Sorry, Nissan on 19 points, Subaru on 14, Ford on 13, and then the small order points for the rest of the drivers. Porsche on 8. We've got Mercedes on 2, and Aston Martin only scoring 1 point so far. That's the Aston Martin. Is that the DBR9? Or is it the Vantage? Forgive me. We've got 2 Aston Martins, and I'm not sure which is which, but there was only 1 point between them. So Adio back on the live stream with us, waiting now for the go instruction for the drivers here in Tier 1 to get underway. But very shortly, remember, a 40-minute race, 1-shot qualifying. Here we can see the tyre selections. Lars going very brave, hard tyres to qualify on, and he'll hope to rag those hard tyres early doors and try and get some temperature in. Tipos and Mackies have gone for soft tyres. Look at those guys. Whoa, I'm getting oh right, we're being told it is actually a reverse grid start, so we have changed. Excuse me, I thought there was a problem in the pinned post today that indicated that it was in fact going to be that reverse grids weren't possible, but all the same, starting at the back will be Riaba here. We haven't seen his car just yet, but we'll see what he's chosen, and we're being told we're underway. We're going to get the instructions to go. It will be reverse grid then, thankfully. So reverse grid for the feature race. No one-shot qualifying, but we will be underway for a 40-minute race. Thanks to RDO there for giving that information. Could have sworn I read the rules earlier and it said that it was one-shot quali, but my mistake. I must be reading from seasons past. Drivers saying let's go, go, go. Let's have a good race. Yeah, Zimmy did get that podium, I believe. So, new podium. Let's go, guys. Come on. It's time to get underway. Apologies as ever there for the start camera. I did mention it while I was on a non-functioning microphone, but the start start procedure, I am locked to the perspective of one car at a time riding on board. I cannot change it to the trackside camera until I exit the screen and back in again. I've tried all manner of things, but it's a glitch on the game. So Usually we go for a rolling start, and we are going to go for a rolling start. I wonder if Mackey's was doing this deliberately to start at the front of this grid. So Mackey's, Spectre, Moosh, Slimycan, T-Pos the top 5. And we are about to get underway. Just a nice rolling, gradual start here for the drivers. We've got soft tyres on the drivers in front. Spectre has gone for mediums. And here we go. It is green flag racing as Mackey's leads us away. Spectre looking racy on the medium tyres, but he will have less grip away from the start here. As Mackey's will try and stay far enough away from his rivals here to get underway. But that is P3. That is Moosh going for one on the DBR9. He's got another Aston Martin teammate down the inside as they bang doors and wing mirrors. We've got Moosh going for it here. He's going to find a gap in the middle, and Slimycan effectively boxing Moosh out here. Again, another touch on the cars, but just about enough room given. Soft tyres on Slimycan, soft tyres on Moosh. He's got the inside line for the next corner, and Moosh just gets the tail of the car in front by enough. But I think he'll be vulnerable going down the long straight that is soon to come. It is still Mackey's away from the start. Spectre on the mediums, unable to live with Mackey's pace straight away. And tremendous work. We'll see all the cars through the first major overtaking position here. Down the inside comes T-Pos and hangs onto it, but compromises his exit. Slimycan with a switchback move once again. Not for the first time we've seen that tonight. And Slimycan holds on. Ryan Dav in 7th, Van der Speck in 8th. Iggy is in 9th position, passes Lars already. Early doors, Iggy from the penultimate place on the racetrack. Iggy up to P9 and making a brilliant climb through the field. BR4 is in 12th, and he's got Zimmy on the inside in the distinct livery Subaru BRZ, and no, BR4 hangs on in that beautiful Toyota FT1 with his teammate just in front of him. Riaba still at the back then, and he is racing in, I believe that's the Toyota Supra, if my eyes do not deceive me. So let me get you a decent camera angle, and we'll get back into it as Mackey's is leading the race away. Last one, remember, 40-minute race. We're only 2 minutes in, so strap in for a good one as Mackey's on the soft tyre, trying to make the best use of this stint as possible. I do fancy, you know, some of the drivers who started on the hard tyres. There was only one driver on the hard tyre who can run the race on a full tank of fuel before putting the mediums on. Going for third place again is Slimycan, slips down the inside of Spectre. Slimycan still with that lag on the car, but just getting ahead. Simon K has taken T-Pos just behind them, and there's contact between the two. Slimycan exits stage right, and he just hangs on to the car. They need to give Slimmy a much wider berth, and he in turn with the other drivers. Car 625 struggling to stay on the racetrack at the moment. T-Pos, excuse me, T-Pos trying to have a look at Simon K here, but Simon holding the inside line down into the hairpin. Simon with the ideal line through the corner, gets a little touch on the tail, and it slightly unsettles the Mercedes. Back though to Slimmy versus Spectre. And these drivers lost out in the sprint race, but weren't panicking, weren't too worried, I guess. And again, more contact between these two Aston Martins. Slimmy having to give up the place there, I think, just out of sporting endeavour. Already the paintwork scratched on the front left wing of the car. Through they go. The two Aston Martins battling hard, but actually just bringing Simon K and T-Pos forward. Mighty Iggy, where is he? He's behind, just behind this group. He's got himself all the way up to P7 at the start of lap 3. Fantastic stuff here in the Ford GT. So Iggy, medium tyres, really good race tyre here, but all drivers will have to use two different compounds, and they will have to use the same compound on both axles of the car. And Ardio's saying we've got chaos at the back. Well, let's have a quick look then. I don't want to miss too much action at the sharp end, but Iggy in 7th, Ryan Dabb in 8th, Van der Speck in 9th. Then, wow, yes indeed, a 5-car melee heading on into the braking for turn 5. Someone's lit the rear tyres up. I think that was the BRX of Van der Speck, was it? Yeah. Struggling to hang on, and these guys not giving any quarter. There's a 1 second penalty on the Toyota of BR4. He's going to be out of this battle by a long way. That's 1 second fully off throttle, and he's already being muscled out by the Aston Martin, the green one of Zimi. Zimi not happy to wait until he serves the penalty, and there we see BR4 will drop all the way down to the tail of the field thanks to that penalty, and Riaba makes it up into the penultimate place now in the GR Super RC18. The Toyota of Leper in 13th. It's getting very, very tetchy out there at the tail of this field. Tremendous stuff. It is just switchback corner, left, right with these cars. So there's always a chance to overtake, and it's also super wide as well. So it really invites the drivers to push hard. And as RDO says, what a track! We're really enjoying it. And yes, indeed. So what is Spectre up to? Spectre down in 11th place on the medium tyres. Just need to remind myself who it was that started this one on the hard tyres. Who have we got? It was Lars. So I think we could be looking at Lars for a quiet dark horse type of a race here. Lars in P9 gets up the inside at the first part of the racetrack, first sector, racing in the 2020-2021 livery of the Mercedes F1 team in the Porsche, oddly enough. Looks like the Nismo there of BX Royal having a little sniff. Remember, the winner of the sprint race. Very different set of skills though in this endurance 40-minute race that the drivers will be tackling. That is looking for a gap here. Remember, the car in front on harder tyres of Lars. Lots of drivers defending to the inside as they head down the hill towards the hairpin. Trying to go around the outside is BX Royal as Zimi slips on through with a switchback manoeuvre. Lars holding on to the middle of the racetrack, and they go too wide, and they're almost touching as they head on through the following sequence of turns 13, 14, and now into 15 and 16. Lars holds on, but Zimi managed to slip up the inside there as BX Royal was compromised through the corner. BX Royal trying to get that move done back again. So RDO says Mackies looks like he's got a sizable lead. Indeed, the benefit of running in clear air. There's a battle going on for the penultimate position, but we'll concentrate here on Spectre down the inside of BX Royal, and he tags the back of Zimi's BRZ Subaru. Zimi just holds on. Zimi right in the thick of it here. Only lap 5 so far, and we're just on about 8.5 minutes of racing, so not even 1/4 distance. That was BR4 down the inside of Spectre, but no, they hang on. It's brilliant to have Spectre driving an Aston Martin. Very Ian Fleming Bond universe going on. Wow, very wide goes Spectre, and the tail gets very happy coming through the corners 10 and 11. Riaba hanging on here, and now perhaps shaping for a move. Car 89, very nice livery vehicle here on the Supra. It's very difficult to make a bad livery on a Supra. Say, well, round goes our tail runner Leper. Really struggling now. Medium tyres lights up the axle and just in the background we saw Leper spin. Back up at the front, the gap for Mackey's is nearly 5 seconds. RDO tells us that he hasn't won since season 4, where he was a runner-up in the end on season 4 championship. So it's been a long time coming. The soft tyres though getting chewed through, and he'll be running fat with fuel on those soft tyres. He'll have to stop for tyres before he has to stop for fuel. Moosh is in second in that sister Porsche to Lars. Simon K in third position on the medium tyres, seemingly just sliding the car in the mid corner, and he's got Iggy in fourth place right behind him. Steps the car off onto the grass on the exit of turn 4, so down into turn 5 Iggy will gain ground. Beautiful livery on that Simon K Mercedes, I have to say. Really follows the shape of the car very well indeed. I hope it's not doing it a disservice to call it a mustard and navy colour scheme. He might want to call that gold, but I'm not sure. Iggy rides the dirt through turn 9, 10 and 11, and is looking for an opening here. Going for it down the inside. Iggy should be hot on these brakes, and Iggy completes the move before the braking zone almost. Great run he had there with the aerodynamics of the Ford GT. Sniffs ahead. Adio says it's a replica livery for Simon K. Well, I apologise. I'm just calling things as I see them at this stage. And Iggy through into third place, and as I say, will be feeling extra desperate, I imagine, to claim this win after the sprint race got away from him. Slight miscalculation on tyre wear, and he'll be ruining that half a lap that he spent on far worse tyres. But Iggy into P3 then, moving up right from the penultimate position on our race, P14 to P3 by the end of lap 6, start of lap 7. Slimmy Cam is in the pits, first of the soft runners to head into the pits for us. As Van der Speck in 5th place. We have a little bit of action continuing here. Ryan Dav just over half a second in front of a tumultuous battle here between Tipos, Lars, BX Royal. BX Royal has really not made the ground that Iggy made. BX Royal having won the sprint, because of the late arrival of Riaba. It was Iggy that started 14th. Here we go, P8, 4P7. That is Lars on the Aston Martin of Tipos, and he hangs him out to dry to the extent that BX Royal gets the nose ahead as well. So Tipos 2 places down in the space of 1 corner. Back on the hunt now, and he picks up a penalty trying to follow in the wheel tracks, unsighted through the corners after running those ones as well as he did. Husky says, where's Gimme? I think Gimme was on no-show tonight, unfortunately. Presumably had a problem, unless you're referring to Ryan Dav. You'll have to use what I have here on screen. So penalty on board the Aston Martin. Will drop Tipos down out of this battle. BX Royal very sideways through the corner there. So Gimme is Zimmy. Okay, yeah, that figures. Probably should have understood that one myself, but thanks to that one. So yeah, Zimmy down currently in P12. Just struggling on the medium tyres, hasn't stopped yet either. Zimmy, probably the worst first stint of the fastest sprint race podium, as he goes down the inside, and Riaba, well, very wide there, picks up a 3-second penalty for keeping the boot in. We've got other pit stops going, so Zimmy picks up 4 places down that pit lane run, and it's the end of lap 8 that the medium runners are coming in. They didn't get much more many more laps than the soft runner there at the start. So let's have a look. How are the tyres looking? Well, Mackey's was the one that stopped off the soft tyres. All the front runners have now stopped. So Simon K in the lead of this race, chewing through those mediums. Let's see what has Mackey's decided to pit. He's put softs on again. Wow, so a soft medium, I imagine, this stint with having passed 1/4 distance. That's what he's headed for. Simon leads the race at this stage of proceedings on lap 8 from Ryan Dav, 4 seconds in front. Ryan Dav then has his teammate BX Royal behind him. Will he release him? But Ryan Dav actually has better tyre wear at this early stage, so BX Royal has had to go through those mediums, making his way through the pack from the back of the race after winning our sprint, and he does look like he's been released. So BX Royal allowed to go through from his teammate Ryan Dav. He knows which side his bread is buttered and lets his teammate through. Lars watching on calmly here on the hard tyre from the start. He is only 5 seconds away from the lead of this race, and will be, I'm assuming, one-stopping this one, saving himself a good 30 seconds in the pits if he can make this work on 2 full tanks of fuel. Obviously, it looks like he will be able to do that. It's whether he can run deep enough to open the window for the medium tyre on a one-stop. Here is Mackey's on T-Pos. Down the inside goes Mackey's, making his way forward once again. He's on the soft tyre, remember, soft for Mackey's so far. It's going aggressive on this one. Hosky says we are distinct, so obviously a distinct livery fan. Whoa, very, very wide. Who was that? Running extremely wide on the racetrack. That was that Iggy? Off the circuit? It might even have been Iggy that time. Running wide, and yeah, he's lost out a lot of time here to Zimmy in front. Iggy 9 seconds off the lead of the race, having stopped once. He's now gone medium to soft, going for a short stint here, so I fancy that'll be medium soft medium, or medium soft soft. But at the moment, BX Royal continues to lead this race in the GTR Nismo GT3. He is 1.9 seconds in front of Lars now, who got in front of his teammate. Lars bringing himself very much into contention as the weight of the fuel comes off and the hards in their sweet spot. And they might even be starting to get a little bit oversteery, those hards, at about 50-51% front right limited at this stage. Round into the curb, yeah, just the indication that his times might be starting to drop off. Lars here, he's going to have to pit on the soon side, but he'll want to try and make this one-stopper work. Husky says he's Distinct's biggest fan. Fantastic. Okay, into the pits comes BX Royal and Ryan Dav on identical pit stop strategy. They do have different pit crews, of course, but BX Royal and Ryan Dav into the pits. Looks like BR4 is in as well in the Toyota, having really gone through the fuel significantly. So about 18 minutes they got running on the medium tyre, the drivers, from the start. Here is Moosh down the inside of Slimmy Cam, and for once the driver not making contact with Slimmy Cam due to the erratic nature of his car. Thanks to the game, that's not his fault, that's just the lag. Presumably that's down to bad internet or him connecting from a well, I was going to say a distant place, but he is representing Great Britain, so I imagine he's probably okay. He looks to pull alongside here, down into turn 5. Moosh giving him enough room to make a mistake and get ahead. Moosh happy to be quite patient here with Slimmy. What's happening with Spectre? He's just lost out a place to Zimmy, who gets ahead. He's 24.7 seconds away from the lead of this race. Iggy holds the fastest lap, some 2.5 seconds faster than Zimmy's fastest so far on lap 8. Where is Iggy? He's in 3rd place moving forward thanks to those pit stops, but 2.9 seconds away from the lead of the race. Mackey's, our previous leader, has just lost out to Lars, who is looking very good indeed. Lars on the hard tyre. Mackey's comes through. Oh, Lars all over the road. Can he hang on? He can just about hang on, thankfully, to the car. So Lars lost out there. Lost a second or two on his race distance. That might be very important later on. He'll try and run this car empty to the point where presumably the medium tyre window will be open for him. Now, I just saw indication that maybe Spectre has left. Spectre might be out of this race. Lars makes sure Iggy has to really work for the position for P2, but Iggy on those soft tyres. So Iggy and Mackey's both running soft here, I think. Yeah, confirm. Lars fights back down the inside of turn 5. The next turn, turn 7, is a left-hander, so Iggy will get the nod through there, and the grip through the switchback chicanes. Iggy gets ahead, still cooking up that dirt. He's obviously found grip on the grass through there. And here is Lars then. He should be one stopping, so one more stop to make for him and the two cars in front. I'm assuming Iggy can't get these softs to the end. Now that would be crazy. So yeah, and he short fueled the car as well. So the top two stopping, third place one stopping, but his pace is not there with them at the moment. So as soon as the medium tyre window is open for him in a lap or two's time, I'm pretty sure he will pit and brim the tank. He doesn't need a full tank to the finish. He's already got over halfway through the race on a full tank, and he's got maybe a quarter of a tank remaining, so he'll need to just put just under 3/4 of a tank into the car to run this one to the end. It's Van der Speck in 4th. We've got BX Royal in 5th, the sprint race winner, moving forward, but not as much as Iggy. Now he's on soft tyres. He'll also two-stop. I do think anyone on soft tyres are going to stop again here. Here is the erratic looking, but not, I'm sure not actually this erratic, in his own cockpit, Slimmy Cam. Moosh defending now his 7th place from Zimmy behind. So Porsche looking for some good points, Ford looking for good points today as well. Here is Zimmy. I know we've got fans watching of Zimmy, so we'll see if we can see an overtake from him. Looking for a very wide line into turn 5. It is a lot faster and more open than it looks on the track map. Through he goes, the beautiful switchback, and comfortably ahead here. Softs versus hards. Moosh on a one-stopper, probably the opposite of his teammate. Audio says that Tipos and Spectre just rage quit. Well, I don't want to make an accusation at this stage. It might have been, at least one of them might have been a lack of connection. Anyway, Ryan Dav trying to hold off Lepa and Riaba here. Lepa getting very racy on the soft tyres. Ryan Dav on the hards. He's put hards on for the minority of the race, just after the halfway distance. So he's obviously pitted to the end, but he's 40 seconds off the lead. So he's a pit stop away from the lead, despite being on a one-stopper. Drivers still fighting for the minor placings here. Plenty of points on offer for the drivers. The 11, Ryan Dav, P12 Lepa and Riaba in 13th. That's 13 of the 15 drivers remain with us. Riaba is at the rearmost position, but he's still fighting, and he's well on for it here as Lepa goes down the inside but that becomes the outside of the next corner, something that Ryan Dav knows very well indeed. Just eases the Toyota out to the grass, and now the Supra looking a little bit inquisitively at his manufacturer stablemate. Oh wow, Ryan Dav getting sideways, as I don't think there was contact, he was just offline. Lepper gets through and finally moves himself forward. And it is Ryan Dav struggling on the hards. Really struggling with oversteer on the hard tyres. I think Riaba's going to get him now. He's going to go for it. Riaba down the inside. That was just a half-hearted sniff. But with a good wide entry through these corners, we'll be looking for a launch away. Oh no, he's going to make it very easy. Is Ryan Dav. Massive oversteer. Not enjoying the hard tyres one bit. Let's touch back in then now that that battle is done and dusted. At the front of the race, Mackey's leads Iggy by 1.2 seconds. The Ford GT's in command of this race at this stage. Mackey's running low on fuel. Iggy not quite as low on fuel, but having gone through the tyres even more, so they might both stop on the next lap. BX Royal in third place, also on the soft tyres, might get an extra lap out of his fuel here and put mediums on for the end. Remember, Lars, he's got a penalty on the car. He'll pay that shortly. That's a very hefty penalty, 1.5 seconds off throttle at the yellow chevrons between turns 11 and 12, the long straight down the hill. But he's in fourth, 10.2 seconds away, and he will need to make the same number of pit stops as the drivers in front. He may be able to get onto better tyres, but I fancy Iggy, Mackey's, BX Royal and Lars will all put mediums on to finish this race. Look at the tyre wear on the BRZ here of Van der Speck. It's not looking easy to drive, is it? And Husky says Zimmy have been sixth. He's coming at the end of the race, coming on strong. We've got 92 comments already. I hope we can get to 100 before the next pit stops. Which of you will get the 100th comment? And we'll check out Zimmy then. Does he need to pit? I'm pretty sure yes. He's low on fuel and going through the soft tyres. I do think everybody here in the top 8 will need to pit again. Moosh 27 seconds off the lead, should be pitted to the end here, so could still be in with a shout if the drivers on their in-laps have rough in-laps. He might go for it. I can't say who got the 100th comment. I've got a feeling it was RDO, so congrats. Pit stops, Mackey's and Iggy go into the pits. BX Royal inherits the lead of the race then on lap 15, some 27 minutes into our race. Zimmy goes through, but will stop again, probably next lap through. BR4 likewise. Let's see where Moosh comes out. Moosh has currently overtaken the drivers in the pits. Will he stay ahead? That is Mackey's coming out of the pits, and he's stuck behind the hard tyre shod Moosh. But will Mackey's be able to make use of these soft tyres early, these mediums, early doors? They bang wheels, they bang wings of the car, and Mackey's in no mood to wait behind Moosh. Gets ahead, but Moosh is right here in the shout of the podium positions if he can just avoid being mullered off the circuit by the Fords. Iggy comes through. Iggy to the inside into turn 5. There we go. Well, RDO said Great Wall of Moosh coming, but I'm afraid that was very quickly dispatched by the Fords. They definitely ganged up on Moosh, but he's still right there in the hunt for the podium here. Got a big gap behind him. Simon Kay is on the hard tyres, racing to the end of this race. He is 7 seconds behind. And what can Lars do? Now he's finally on a nice set of tyres. Oh, that's 11 minutes on the soft tyres. That's possibly a big ask there. The next drivers to pit might be able to use softs to the end. We knew that the Fords were going to have to fit something other than softs. So Zim is in second. He will pit shortly, as will BX Royal on this lap, I do believe, as similarly will BR4 in the Toyota FT1. RDO saying soft between 5 and 7 laps, but I'm counting in minutes at this stage, and it does look to be around 5 laps remaining. We will see when the leader gets there. Iggy has got the net lead of this race ahead of Mackey's. So Iggy, having got pole for the sprint, held on gamely to the lead position for ages and ages during the race until the final lap. Mackey's is about to lose second place as well. Round the outside goes BX Royal, becomes the inside for the next switchback at turn 4, and he's got ahead. So Mackey's struggling on the medium tyres because BX Royal has fitted softs. This could be a masterful stroke. Mackey's now really doing the job for his teammate. Needs to make a real nuisance of himself behind the Subaru, behind the Nissan here, because if he lets BX Royal ahead, BX Royal has got soft tyres on to finish this race, and we know he managed to catch Iggy at the end of the previous race. Iggy is gonna be having deja vu all over again here with BX Royal right behind him, just 2 seconds, just less than 2 seconds, with what we think to be 4 or 5 laps to go. I think he's got 1 extra lap of tyre wear in hand here, so he can go aggressive to the finish. He'll have it easier than whatever Iggy has. Iggy with a little bit more pace now, though, right now. Gap just extending by a 1/10. The pressure is definitely on, and Iggy really dealing with BX Royal, hounding him this whole evening through. BX Royal took his time to come through the field relative to Iggy, but he's here when it matters. RDO says Iggy thrives under pressure. Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt of the quality of Iggy, but BX Royal got him on the final lap last time, so let's not build him up too much. Moosh finds himself right with his teammate in 4th, with his teammate just behind him. Zimmy has come out into 6th place. He's on the soft tyres. Here's a battle going on. It's Van der Speck versus Simon K. Van der Speck gets down the inside. Simon K is on hard tyres though, and now has to deal with Slimmy Cam's erratic car off the circuit at the moment from Slimmy Cam. Tries to get the nose ahead. Simon K on the racing line. Absolutely not. That's the lawn mowing line. Simon K, you won't thank me for catching that moment on stream, and he doubles down on the problems, struggles with keeping the car on the black stuff, and the Toyota of BR4 slips on ahead. Let's go back up to the top, shall we, and see how the gap is dropping. Half a second while we were away from this gap. So RDO says BX hasn't really been in this situation before. He struggled last season in Tier 1, but he won the Spec Series. Came 8th in the final standings of Tier 1 last season, but he's obviously been putting in the practice. He's found a car he enjoys. I don't know if you can tell me whether he was driving this car or not last time. The Nissan GTR Nismo. And the gap, these drivers, they are really pushing each other towards the end of our race now. We're on the 33rd minute of 40. RDO just dropping in there that he did, in fact, beat BX Royal. So RDO, why are you not around? Is it other commitments at the moment for this this season? Not that we don't love you in the live chat, of course. The car beautifully into the apexes here, BX Royal, and is making a nuisance of himself in the mirrors of Iggy. Iggy is watching behind him, the gap dropping now to 6/10. BX Royal is eating Iggy's lead up. We should be on for a fantastic finish. In fact, BX Royal picked up the fastest lap on the previous race, on the previous lap, so 1:52.330 took the fastest lap from Iggy. And he also had a fast lap earlier on lap 12, but lap 17, it's getting quicker and quicker here for the Nismo. Rockstar on the car. He's certainly driving like a rock star at the moment. Over the crest, down the dip, and back up again to the banked turn 12. The gap now down to half a second. Don't think anything's going to happen immediately. Let's just have a quick look at the drivers coming down the hill towards the hairpin. Anyone going for a move? Not quite. Just those gaps opening up a little bit. We'll just tour through the drivers at this stage. Riaba back down to 13th position after the pit stops, is on soft tyres, and here we go then, 0.2 of a second heading in. We've got Iggy in first, we've got BX Royal in second. This is how it was for most of the sprint race until the last 2/3 of a lap. BX Royal is going to go for it here. Let's ride on board with BX using the Apex cam, shall we? He's got really good lines through the corners here. Iggy looking a little bit like he's struggling, or he's defending hard. Good exit from this corner, both running equally wide. Adio says 3 more laps to go. 3 more laps, so it'll be 22nd lap. So close. Now BX Royal is just going to have to wait patiently and time this one, because Iggy will defend like a lion. He knows it, and he'll try and come back at him and try and pounce on a mistake as Iggy kicks up into the dirt in front of BX Royal. Good exit, good slipstream building as the gap drops and drops and drops. Iggy not defending yet to the inside. BX Royal very, very patient. He knows he's got time, gets a great apex through the corner, but there's a limit to how much you can get through in the next sector. Following along, almost bump drafting the Ford in front. There's such different heights of the vehicles. Here comes round the outside BX Royal through turn 15 into 16. Can he go round the outside through the 2 consecutive corners to get the inside into 17? They are side by side, fighting this one super hard into the final corner of the racetrack. This is turn 18, and BX Royal gets ahead, and Iggy off in the grass. Iggy manages to wrestle the car back, but that buys BX Royal a precious few tenths of a second. That is half a second in front now. BX Royal, how much of the tyres did he use going around the outside on the dirty side of the track? We go, I think, for, 2 more laps, including the one they're on. We shall see. We've just ticked over 37.5 minutes of 40. And RDO says the pace of these guys absolutely tremendous, although Iggy's pace dropping off relative to BX Royal, who was, well, he's gone 1 second just about slower each lap, but he's significantly quicker than Iggy. And now building the gap, 10th by 10th. Iggy just hoping he can hold on to some tyre wear, but the GTR Nismo is an absolute masterpiece of a handling car, it seems. Iggy may have the edge on aerodynamics, but in terms of handling, this Nissan Nismo, beautiful. BX Royal is pulling away, 0.8 of a second, runs wide, and now he's got time to think about the fact that he's in the lead. He didn't really have that time in the sprint race. It all happened in the final lap, but now he's got to think about the fact that he's got Iggy behind him, and he's got to manage to drive with the pressure of an impending double back-to-back win here at Lago Maggiore. Sprint and feature, no mean feat with the reverse grid starting positions here. BX Royal now 1 second in the lead. Iggy getting through the final corner a lot cleaner than he did while battling on the previous lap. So they'll cross the line now to start lap 21, the two leaders. 146 comments now. What are we going to do, RDO, when you're driving? We won't have anybody filling us with comments like this. And he says P4 to 5 are getting close. They don't look super close. Actually, when you get the camera on the cars, I don't want to miss a pivotal moment at the lead of the race. But BX Royal is looking pretty handy here. So second is Iggy, third is Mackey's, fourth is Lars. Zimmy comes fifth at the moment for the Subaru BRZ team. Then BR4 in sixth place. There's too many BRs and BXs in this race. P7 is Slimmy, having a good race. Moosh is bringing the car home in 8th. Van der Speck in 9th. Lepper has now crossed the line and has come home in 10th place for points. Simon Kay got 11th. Ryan Dav in 12th. Riaba brought the car home for 13th position, debuting, I think, with us at the tail of the field, qualifying as he did late. Through turn 12 we go then. This is confirmed to be the final lap of the race on the fumes of fuel left now for BX Royal. This one going really well for him. He's pulling out the gap. He's no let off here. He may enter low fuel mode come the end of this. I think he's just about got enough to get to the end. But one more corner then for BX Royal. A little wiggle on the way into the corner. I don't think that was early celebration. But coming out of the final corner, a masterful evening's racing from BX Royal. Completes the sprint and feature double head win. Gets the fastest lap as well. BX Royal, an absolute grand slam of an evening's racing, and he secures the top points. The only thing he didn't do was get pole position for the sprint, but Iggy got that and 2 second places. He'll be wondering what he's got to do and how much of a challenge BX Royal's going to put up. Mackey's got third on the podium for Ford, 2-3 for Ford. Porsche represented in fourth with Lars. Zimmy brought the Subaru in fifth home. Then BR4 in sixth, Slimmy Cam in seventh, Moosh in eighth, Van der Speck in 10th, and we've already been through the other drivers. Let's go back up to BX Royal and see how he got on. I will have a look. Simon Kay said his TV turned off mid-race. Yeah, that one sucks. We've definitely seen that. And brilliant race. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on the video. Leave a follow on socials, both here on YouTube and on Twitter. Aero League Racing and myself, Webbo Red 5. That was BX Royal winning the sprint and the feature. Congratulations to him. And congratulations to a fantastic evening's racing for Tier 1 here. Remember, plenty more racing through the week and even on a Monday night. But I hope you're not going to fail to tune in for more top tier racing on Monday nights here for the next 7 weeks with the calendar I ran us through. Next time we are in, let me get this exactly right. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Where do we go next? I think it was Blue Moon, was it not? Blue Moon Infield? I will just confirm that. It is Blue Moon Infield next week. But from me, Webbo, from everybody here at the top tier, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing the video, and we will catch you on the next race day.